Unlock your full potential and step into your brilliance, because being a truly smart woman isn't just about intelligence. It's about mastering the principles that shape your mindset, boost your confidence, and elevate your daily life. In this video, I'll share 7 transformative principles that every woman can use to sharpen her focus, strengthen her resilience, and thrive with purpose. Whether you're chasing personal growth, career success, or deeper self-awareness, these insights will guide you to become the smartest, most empowered version of yourself. Let's start your journey to unstoppable confidence and clarity today. Redefining smart. For women today, imagine for a moment what comes to mind when we hear the word smart. For many of us, it's tied to grades, degrees, or how quickly someone can solve a problem. But that definition is too narrow. Being a truly smart woman today goes far beyond academic achievement or traditional measures of intelligence. It's about cultivating the skills, habits, and perspectives that allow you to thrive, not just in your career, but in your relationships, your health, and your sense of self. Smart is about how you show up in the world every single day, how you make decisions that align with your values, and how you respond to the inevitable challenges life throws your way. Think about the women you admire most. Are they defined simply by how much they know? Or is it the way they carry themselves, the clarity with which they make choices, the resilience they demonstrate when things get hard? That is the essence of being smart, an integration of intellect, emotional intelligence, and lived wisdom. It's about balancing knowledge with empathy, ambition with integrity, all the confidence with humility. And that's something every single one of us can develop, no matter our starting point. The truth is, the world today demands a new kind of intelligence. Information is everywhere, at our fingertips, on our phones, accessible in seconds. What matters more than memorizing facts is knowing how to process that information, how to separate what's valuable from what's distracting, and how to apply it in ways that move your life forward. This kind of intelligence is dynamic, flexible, and deeply personal. It requires us to be both learners and leaders in our own lives. And here's where it becomes truly empowering. Being smart is not a fixed identity. It's not something you're born with or without. It's a practice, a mindset, a set of principles that can be learned, refined, and strengthened. Every choice you make, to pause before reacting, to invest in your health, to listen with intention, to stay curious, becomes part of your smartness. Each small action accumulates, creating a foundation of wisdom that helps you navigate life with clarity and courage. So when we talk about becoming a smart woman, we're not talking about changing who you are. We're talking about uncovering and amplifying the strengths you already carry within you and aligning them with the principles that will help you live fully, powerfully, and authentically. The science of a growth mindset. One of the most powerful shifts you can make on the journey to becoming a truly smart woman is learning to embrace a growth mindset. Now, what does that really mean? At its core, it's the belief that your abilities, your intelligence, your talents, none of these are fixed. They can be developed, improved, and expanded through effort, practice, and persistence. This idea changes everything because instead of asking, am I good enough? You start asking, how can I grow from this? So often we hold ourselves back with limiting beliefs. Maybe it's the voice that whispers, I'm just not good at math, or I'll never be confident in public speaking, or that kind of success isn't for me. Those thoughts come from a fixed mindset, the belief that you either have it or you don't. But neuroscience and experience both show us that our brains are capable of remarkable change. Every challenge you step into, every mistake you learn from, every skill you practice literally reshapes your brain, creating new pathways that strengthen over time. Now, a growth mindset doesn't mean you'll succeed at everything the first time you try. In fact, it requires the opposite, a willingness to stumble, to fail, and to keep going anyway. That's where real learning happens. When you adopt a growth mindset, failure stops being evidence that you're not smart. It becomes proof that you're stretching, that you're daring to expand your capacity. That shift takes the pressure off and opens the door to real creativity and resilience. Think about how liberating it is to know that every effort matters. The time you spend practicing, the curiosity you bring to a new subject, the patience you give yourself when things feel hard, all of it is building your intelligence in ways that can't be measured on a test or summed up in a single achievement. Growth mindset is about valuing the process, not just the outcome. And in that process, you cultivate patience, persistence, and self-trust, qualities that make you strong in every area of life. When you walk into a room with a growth mindset, you stop comparing yourself to others and start focusing on your own trajectory. You no longer ask, am I as good as she is? Instead, you ask, am I better than I was yesterday? That question keeps you moving forward no matter what. The power of emotional awareness. If we think about what truly sets apart women who feel empowered and grounded in their lives, one of the strongest qualities they share is emotional awareness. It's the ability to recognize what you're feeling in the moment, to name it without judgment, and to choose how you respond instead of letting your emotions run the show. That might sound simple, but in practice, it's one of the most powerful forms of intelligence we can cultivate. So often we live on autopilot. Stress builds, frustration rises, and before we know it, we've reacted in ways that don't reflect who we really are. Maybe it's snapping at someone we care about, shutting down in a meeting, or talking ourselves out of an opportunity because fear took over. Emotional awareness interrupts that cycle. It gives you the pause, the space to ask, what am I actually feeling right now? Where is this coming from? And most importantly, how do I want to respond? The remarkable thing is that emotions aren't just fleeting feelings. They are data. They tell us what matters, where our boundaries are, and what needs attention. Anger can highlight injustice. Sadness can signal loss. Joy shows us where we feel aligned. When we ignore these signals, we lose valuable information. But when we learn to notice them, understand them, and use them, emotions become a compass guiding us toward wiser choices. And here's the key. Emotional awareness is not about suppressing emotions or pretending everything is fine. It's about building a relationship with them. It's about being curious rather than critical when they show up. That curiosity is what allows us to respond with intention rather than react out of habit. Over time, this practice strengthens resilience, deepens empathy, and builds trust, not just with others, but with ourselves. Think of the impact this has in real life, in your career. It helps you stay calm and confident under pressure. In your relationships, it allows you to listen deeply and connect authentically. And within yourself, it creates clarity because you're no longer overwhelmed by feelings. You're guided by them. Emotional awareness transforms emotions from something that controls you into something that empowers you. And that is the essence of being smart in the true sense. Not ignoring your emotions, but learning to use them as fuel for growth, connection, and strength, health and energy as intelligence tools. When we think about intelligence, we often focus only on the mind, what we know, how we think, how quickly we can solve problems. But the truth is, your brain does not operate in isolation. It is intimately connected to your body, and the choices you make for your physical health have a direct and powerful effect on your mental clarity, focus, and emotional balance. If you want to be at your smartest, you cannot ignore the role of your health and energy. Let's start with movement. Every time you move your body, whether it's a walk, a workout, or even a dance around your living room, you're not just burning calories or strengthening muscles. You're stimulating your brain in ways that improve memory, attention, and creativity. Exercise triggers the release of chemicals that literally make your brain function better while also protecting it from stress. So movement isn't just about fitness, it's about fueling your intelligence. Then there's sleep. Too often, we wear business like a badge of honor, cutting hours of rest as though it's a luxury we can't afford. But sleep is not optional for a high-functioning brain. It's during deep rest that your brain consolidates memories, clears out toxins, and resets itself for the next day. When you sacrifice sleep, you sacrifice focus, decision-making, and emotional balance. Prioritizing rest is not a sign of weakness. It's one of the smartest choices you can make. And of course, the way we nourish ourselves plays a role too. The foods we eat become the fuel our brain runs on. Diets high in whole foods, rich in nutrients, give your brain the energy it needs to stay alert, adaptable, and resilient. When you treat your body with care, you're investing directly in the sharpness of your mind. These habits, movement, rest, nourishment are not just about avoiding burnout. They're about unlocking your full capacity. They give you the clarity to make wise choices, the stamina to pursue your goals, and the balance to manage stress gracefully. When you see your body as a partner to your brain, not separate from it, you step into a new level of intelligence. Communication and influence, one of the most underestimated aspects of being a truly smart woman, is the ability to communicate with clarity and presence. Think about it. Your knowledge, your skills, your ideas, even your dreams, they only become powerful when you can share them in a way that others can feel, understand, and respond to. Communication is not just about the words you speak, it's about the way you listen, the energy you bring into the room, and the impact you leave behind. Too often, we focus on speaking as the measure of strong communication, but the smartest communicators know that listening is where it all begins. When you really listen, not just waiting for your turn to talk, but tuning in with curiosity, you build trust, you show respect, you create a connection that opens the door for authentic dialogue. That connection matters more than perfect phrasing or polished delivery because people remember how you made them feel long after they forget the exact words you said. Authenticity is another key. There's nothing more magnetic than someone who speaks from a place of truth. When your words are aligned with your values, when they reflect what you deeply believe, people sense it. They lean in. They're inspired not just by what you say, but by the integrity behind it. That doesn't mean you have to be the loudest voice in the room. In fact, sometimes the most powerful communicators are the ones who speak quietly but with conviction, because every word carries weight. Influence, then, is not about domination or control. It's about inspiration. It's about helping others see possibilities they may not have seen before. It's about bringing people together around a vision or an idea that matters. When you communicate with empathy, when you balance confidence with humility, you invite others to rise with you. That's the kind of influence that lasts. And here's the beautiful part: communication is a skill you can cultivate. It's shaped every time you pause to listen, every time you choose honesty over perfection, every time you share your story in a way that resonates with someone else. Step by step, you strengthen your voice, not just for yourself, but for the impact you can have on the world around you. Purpose and alignment at the heart of living as a truly smart woman is knowing what guides you, your purpose, your values, the deeper why behind the choices you make. Without that, even the greatest success can feel empty. You can have the job, the recognition, the achievements, but if those things don't align with who you really are, there will always be a sense of something missing. Purpose is what gives direction to your intelligence. It's what turns all the growth, awareness, and skills you've built into a life that feels meaningful and whole. Purpose doesn't have to mean some grand mission that changes the entire world. It can be as profound as raising a family with love and intention, or as ambitious as starting a company that reflects your values. It's deeply personal and it evolves as you grow. What matters is that it resonates with you, that when you wake up in the morning, you know you're moving towards something that matters. The challenge is that in our busy, noisy world, it's easy to lose touch with this. We chase what others tell us is important, or we measure ourselves by someone else's standards. But smart women understand the power of pausing, reflecting, and asking, does this align with who I want to be? Does this path honor what I value most? Those questions cut through the noise and bring clarity to even the toughest decisions. Living with purpose also brings resilience. When challenges come, and they always do, it's your sense of alignment that keeps you grounded. You may stumble, you may take detours, but you don't lose yourself because you're anchored in something deeper than the obstacle in front of you. Purpose gives strength to your persistence and meaning to your effort. And perhaps most importantly, purpose creates fulfillment. It transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary because even small actions carry weight when they're connected to a bigger why. Writing that email, showing up for that meeting, having that conversation, each one becomes part of a larger story you're choosing to live. That's the true measure of being smart, not just what you know, not just what you achieve, but how aligned your life feels with what matters most to you. The intro of this video: every woman has the power to become smarter, stronger, and more unstoppable, not just by what she knows, but by how she lives. In this video, I'll share 7 powerful principles that will help you sharpen your mind, master your emotions, energize your body, and align your life with true purpose. These aren't just theories. They're science-backed, practical steps you can use starting today to create clarity, confidence, and resilience in every area of your life. If you're ready to unlock your full potential, stay with me. This could change the way you see yourself forever.